Hey guys, it's Christian here back with another video. This is going to be my divisional round preview. As you can see, got the Kevin Byard jersey on here, repping for tomorrow. I'm hoping my Titans can get the win tomorrow in Baltimore. Although, if I'm being completely honest, I don't have a ton of faith. Uh, Obviously Baltimore's the one seed for a reason, but that's going to be the second game I break down. I'm going to put timestamps to all the games in the description, so make sure you look at that, and let's get into this. So, first off, the Vikings and 49ers. It's at 3:35 Central Time tomorrow on NBC. Or tomorrow when I'm recording this. Today when I guess it might. I'm probably gonna upload this like 2 in the morning, so it'll probably be today when you actually watch this. Anyway, uh, 49ers are favored by 7 against the Vikings. One thing I think that's interesting about this week is all the home teams are the favorites this week. Uh, so, potential upsets maybe. You never know. 49ers are 7-point favorites against the Vikings in this game. ESPN FPI gives Minnesota a 33.9% chance to win this game, and San Francisco a 66.1% chance. The 49ers have won 4 out of their last 5 playoff meetings against the Vikings. I think one thing to look out for in this game is if Adam Thielen is able to play. He's listed as questionable on the injury report right now. Obviously, he'll add another weapon for Kirk Cousins, with Kyle Rudolph and Stephon Diggs. So him being able to play, I think, is going to be huge for the Vikings in this game. Obviously, against that 49er defense with Richard Sherman and all those guys they got on their defense. I'm very interested to see if this Vikings defense can stop this 49ers offense. Obviously Jimmy Garoppolo's been playing great this year. George Kittle's probably had the best season this year as far as tight ends go. Or among the tight ends, he's probably had the best season for a tight end this year. Tevin Coleman's been playing. Their running back's been playing great. Debo Samuel with some good plays. They've got weapons. The 49ers have weapons. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they do against how that Vikings D does against that 49ers offense. And another thing in this game I think that's going to be interesting is this is Jimmy Garoppolo's first playoff game. We thought this guy was going to be the heir to the throne in New England. Then they decided to trade him to San Francisco. Could this backfire on the Patriots? Well, it wouldn't really be backfiring the Patriots now because it's too late. They can't really do anything about it. But could this go in the 49ers' way? I think it's going to. But as far as my prediction, I think 49ers make enough plays, and I think it's going to come down to the last possession. Either the Vikings are going to get stopped on their last possession or the 49ers are going to score on their last possession. And I'm taking the 49ers to win this game 31-24 over the Vikings. Titans, Ravens. Ravens are favored by 10 in this game. ESPN FPI gives the Titans a 18.2% chance to win this game. Baltimore a 81.8% chance to win this game. Just a little history lesson for you about this series as far as the playoffs go. This is the fourth postseason meeting between the Ravens and Titans. The road team is 3-0 against when these two teams play each other in the playoffs, and that was in 2000, 2003, and 2008. In 2000, it was a 1 versus 6 matchup. The Ravens were the 6 seed, Titans were the 1 seed. In Nashville, Ravens won. And in 2008, it was the same thing. Ravens were the 6 seed, Titans were the 1 seed. In Nashville, Ravens won. So, can the Titans do the same thing? That's the question. Going into this game, I think 2003 was like a 5 versus 4 matchup, something like that. But how effective can Mark Ingram be? Is I think a big question in this game. He's expected to play. From what I hear, they think he's going to play, but how effective he will be is a big question. obviously with that option that they run, if that running back's not a viable option, then it's going to be, even though Lamar Jackson's explosive and stuff, if Mark Ingram's not a viable option on the option, said option twice, but if he's not, there to go to, then it's going to be easy every play for the Titans. If Mark Ingram's not 100% and they're still running the option, I mean, our defense is obviously going to pick up on the fact that he's not 100%. Lamar Jackson's probably not going to pitch it out here. He's probably just going to keep it. So, or even on the read option, same thing. Another big story I think in this game is who's harder to stop, Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson. With Derrick Henry, I think the Ravens just got to stack the box as much as possible. For the Ravens to be successful on defense, they have to make Ryan Tannehill beat them and not let Derrick Henry beat them. Because obviously Derrick Henry's probably been the most dominant running back in the NFL this year. So obviously you have to make Derrick Henry earn it. You can't let Derrick Henry beat you if you're the Ravens. You have to make Ryan Tannehill beat you. For the Titans, stopping Lamar Jackson, I think the Titans need to have at least one spy on Lamar Jackson this entire game. Obviously in an option situation, he's going to be tough to stop. But even on passing plays, he's obviously a huge threat this in the run game. So I think the Titans just need to take away the bigger. Not that Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball, but I think the Titans need to take away the bigger threat, which is him on the ground. Make him beat you with his arm. Not that his arm's not good. I'm not saying that. Obviously, he's got a great arm too, but his legs are better. Make him beat you with his arm. That's how you beat running quarterbacks. You make him beat him with his arm, and then if you get beat, hey, what can you say? And then the last thing, can this Titans defense stay dominant? This is a top 5 defense. Has been all year, but has been as of late, obviously. Wasn't one when we were 2-4. But yeah, can this defense stay dominant, and really just can the whole team stay hot? Can the Titans momentum carry him into this game to go into Baltimore and pull off another upset 2 weeks in a row? Obviously, they pulled off the upset last week against the Patriots. Can they do it again this week? My heart wants me to say yes, and I seriously, this FPI says 81.8 to 18.2 in favor of the Ravens. I think it's more 60-40. I seriously think this is going to, or 65-35, we'll say. I think it's more 65-35. But my heart tells me to pick the Titans, but this is not a heart-picking video. This is a head-picking video. This is a video where I'm picking what I think is going to happen, not what I want to happen. So unfortunately, I'm going to say the final score of this game is going to be Ravens 35, Titans 31. Ravens edge out the Titans in the end. I think it'll be tied at halftime. I think it's going to be close the whole way. Grinded out back and forth game, and I think the Ravens pull it out 35-31 in the end, unfortunately. Okay, moving on to Sunday's games. Texans at Chiefs. The Chiefs are 10-point favorites in this game, just like the Ravens are 10-point favorites against the Titans. ESPN FPI gives Houston an 18.5% chance to win this game. Kansas City a 81.5% chance to win this game. Here's a stat for you. Andy Reid is 22-5. He has a 22-5 career record coming off a bye week that includes the regular season and the postseason. So Andy Reid is a good coach coming off of bye weeks, and obviously they're coming off a bye week here. So look out for that. Obviously Houston won at Kansas City 31-24 in Week 6 when these two teams played each other. That was really just a weird game, and the Chiefs were still trying to find themselves at that point in the season, in my opinion. I'm not 100% sure. Mahomes might have still been hurt. I almost said Mariota. Mahomes might have still been hurt at that time. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really remember, but either way, I think that's going to play a factor. It gives the Texans confidence that they know they can go into Kansas City and get this thing done because they've done it already this year. Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes is obviously going to be the appeal here in this game. Two of the most exciting quarterbacks to watch in the NFL right now. It's going to be a great matchup. well, on paper it's a great matchup. Wait till you see my score prediction. You won't think it's a good matchup, but that's obviously going to be the appeal in this game is two very talented quarterbacks going up against each other in this game on a big stage in the playoffs. And finally, I have can this Texans D with J.J. Watt playing his second, playing in the playoffs, which I still can't believe he's even doing. You know, he was pretty effective last week getting that sack. I think he had one sack last week and had like 10 tackles, something like that. I don't remember how many tackles. I'm not 100% sure on that. I was probably wrong there, but anyway, but yeah, can that Texans defense stop that explosive Kansas City offense with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, Mahomes, obviously. I could go on and on with all the weapons that Kansas City has. So my thing is, it's really hard to win an Arrowhead. The Chiefs had the week off. Last year when they had the week off, they did. Well, I don't remember if they dismantled the Colts, but they were dominant in that game against the Colts, against another AFC South opponent. So this week or tomorrow, when I'm recording this today, it will be tomorrow. So tomorrow, I think the Chiefs will. Why am I saying? I think the Chiefs come out. They play ready. They're ready to play, and they beat the Texans in a blowout, 45-24. I just don't think the Texans have enough to keep up with the Chiefs. So I'm taking Chiefs 45-24. I think their offense takes over and their defense gets some stops. Tyrann Mathieu maybe gets a pick, and the Chiefs win it and advance to the AFC Championship game against the Ravens. Seahawks at Packers, our final game of this preview, obviously. The Packers are the 4.5-point favorites. ESPN FPI says Seattle has a 33.7% chance to win this game, and Green Bay has a 66.3% chance to win this game. The Packers are 2-0 at home against the Seahawks in the postseason, so that's a little history for you. One storyline I think going in this game is, are the Packers for real? Because a lot of people think that 13-3 next to their name is misleading just because they've struggled with some struggling teams, having a battle against the Lions, the Bears, teams like that. They've just kind of not been as dominant as you would think they would be for a 13-3 team. A lot of people were saying, I was hearing on the radio today, they were debating if they were the worst 13-3 team ever. I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely something to think about. They definitely have not been as dominant as you would think for a 13-3 team, but I think this game will prove if they were a fluke, or if they were a fraud contender, if they were a pretender contender. This game obviously is going to prove that one way or another. Another thing I have on here is how explosive can Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch, and DK Metcalf be. Obviously, those were their three main horses on offense last week against the Eagles. I almost said the Phillies. Those were their three main horses on offense last week against the Eagles. Can they keep it up against this Packers defense? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. One thing I don't have on here, but I just thought about, how is the weather going to play a factor in this game? Obviously you've all probably heard the story that's gone viral now about how the Packers have been hiring volunteers to shovel snow. I think it's going to be interesting because obviously in the snow that would probably favor Green Bay. If it was in the rain, it wouldn't really favor anyone because Seattle plays in the rain all the time anyway. But playing in the snow will obviously favor Green Bay. Obviously they're used to that. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup here. Can Aaron Rodgers have another great playoff performance? That's the one other thing I forgot to mention. That's the last storyline I have on here. I don't know. He won his one Super Bowl. He won it 10 years ago. Time's running out for him to win his second one. Can he do it? I think he can. The question is just, will he, and does he have the weapons around him this year to do it? I think he does, but they just got to go out there and take care of business against the Seahawks team. Because this Seahawks team is very capable of beating them. This is the game I went back and forth on the most. I think this is going to be the game of the weekend. I think both of these two teams are going to go back and forth the whole game. But I think in the end, we'll say it's Seahawks 21, Packers 21. with about 2:15 on the clock. Aaron Rodgers becomes Aaron Rodgers. He does what Aaron Rodgers does. He takes them down the field. Mason Crosby hits a game-winning field goal as time expires, and the Packers get it done in the divisional round and beat the Seahawks 24-21. As I said, I went back and forth a lot on this game. I would not be surprised if the Seahawks win at all. I think this game is definitely a toss-up. I think this is going to be a really good game. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to all 4 games this weekend. I think this is one of the best divisional rounds or divisional weekends we've had in a while, just because the potential for upsets is definitely there. I wouldn't be surprised to see a chalk thing where it ends up 1-2 in both the AFC and the NFC, but I wouldn't be surprised to see possibly 3 of these road teams win. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you again later. See you guys.